action. Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad y'all are here. Thank you so much for joining. I don't even know what to say. I'm like speechless at this point. Although maybe not. Okay, maybe not totally speechless. Y'all are amazing. I'll just say it that way. I am surrounded by amazing, wonderful people, and that includes you all. And I'm so thankful. So I can't say it enough. Thank you, everybody. If you signed up for the newsletter, maybe you got it. If not, check your email. I just sent out a brief newsletter to say that the yarn shop is open, and of course, to say thank you to you all. I can't even tell you any positive, any messages that you all posted or sent to me, any comments and subscriptions, follows, likes. They mean the world to me. And I don't even know what to say besides thank you. I really appreciate it. So, all right, let's get started. I got to tell you, it has been a whirlwind week. Setting up a brand new website is not for the faint of heart, I will just tell you. And I will give another big shout out to Bo. My sweetheart. A lot of you have met him or heard of him or seen him in pictures. If you haven't seen him at a trunk show or something like that, I gotta tell you, I wouldn't be here without him. He's done so much for me, and I really appreciate it. So, and of course, Connor and Morgan are still working for me, and so they don't get a thank you; they get paid. Anyway, so let me come over here to the comments because I got to see what y'all are saying. So if you're wondering, where am I? Where is Carolyn? This is a new location. This is officially my new office / inventory / shipping room. So yeah, all the action will take place in here. And we thought it might be fun for me to go ahead and do my videos in here too, so that I can kind of shut off the rest of the house. So they can do their own thing and I won't be bothered, or I won't bother them. How about that? So here we are. All right. Yes, Samantha. So the newsletter sign up is on the website. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a place that you can sign up. Thank you all so much for your wishes. Hey, Jana. And what am I wearing? That's a good question, Julie. Y'all have seen this before. This is my rocket tee, right? Tanis Fiber Arts. And this is in the colorway. I know it. Oh, is it Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy? Right? Queen of Tarts. It's Queen of Tarts. They're very similar though. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy is a little bit lighter. This is Queen of Tarts, right? I may have gotten those two colorways mixed up. Anyway, they'll come back in the shop at some point because obviously I love this colorway. I did this. So this is we'll call it my new silky sock base, and in a lace weight. This was a mohair lace weight base that I did it in, and you alternate. It's like thick stripes of each one. So yeah, good stuff. But thank you for asking. All right. Hello, Sharon. I'll just say Queen of Tarts. See, okay. Julie knows. She knows what's up. And let's see, I'm just going to say hi to you all. Thank you. Some of you all have already placed orders, and we're going to talk about the stuff that's in the shop. I really appreciate that. And some upcoming events. I already have events, y'all. Like, I have been busy planning in this past week. And so, yeah, so we've got some fun things to talk about. And then today is November 1st, right? So officially, to me, it's officially the start of the holiday season. And I'm not ignoring Thanksgiving, because to me, the fall holidays are my favorite. From you go into Halloween and celebrating harvest and Thanksgiving, and then you roll right on into Christmas, and the weather becomes so much palatable, so much more palatable here in Florida. And then, of course, elsewhere, the weather turns cooler. And so it's so easy to wear all of those hand knits. And they've always, not just because of that, they've just always been my favorite holidays, honestly. There's just something about the Christmas season. And even from the time that the kids were little, this time of year, it was, I don't know, it's, you know what, I know what it is. I was at the hair salon yesterday, and they were talking, they're apparently decorating for Christmas today. And she said, well, because we're in retail, they have a retail side of the shop. And because one of the girls was saying, why already? Like, anyway, so she said we have to because of retail, and they were talking about the benefits of the holiday season and how everybody just seems to be in a better mood, and they really do. I can say that for myself. I just am in a better mood, and we decorate the house, and it just puts everybody kind of in a more festive frame of mind. And I don't know, you just kind of roll with the flow. I wish I could have that holiday state of mind throughout the entire year. That's what we need to strive for, right? Yeah, that joyous holiday season. So anyway, I didn't even get to finish saying hi to everyone, but I was looking at some of the comments before I came on. So thank you all so much for joining in. Yes, the Hallmark season, watching those movies. I have to tell you, I talked Morgan into watching The Nightmare Before Christmas last night with me, because I thought maybe I would get some colorway inspiration, and because it's dealing with Halloween and Christmas, I thought, oh, that would be fun. And I did enjoy it, but I found myself easily distracted for some reason. Maybe because, I don't know. It's very well done, but Morgan was getting on to me saying, pay attention, Mom. So, and we did come up with at least one colorway idea. So yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll see a Jack Skellington sock set or a bundle come out. We'll see. You never know. We have to find our inspiration where we can, right? Maybe some good Hallmark movies. So, oh yes. So anyway, I was talking about November. Hello, got talking about the holidays and forgot Nani Swimo. So yeah. So is anybody casting on today? I know that I saw in the Stitchers, a lot of you are taking this opportunity to finish up sweaters, and I think that's great. It's kind of like, to me, I would love to finish my sweater. I'm going to do the Wednesday sweater from Petite Knit. Where's my pattern? And I would love to finish it in the month of November. That's kind of the goal of Nani Swimo, National Knit a Sweater in a Month. And it got started, I was reading the other day, from the whole, novelists, like National Write a Novel in a Month. And so there's a writing challenge that goes with that. And I guess that was what inspired National Knit a Sweater Month, which I think is pretty cool. But, it's one of those things that it's a good goal to have as long as it brings you joy and you get satisfaction and happiness from it. If it's something that causes pressure and stress, that is not the goal to have. We don't need that, right? So we'll just set that aside. So let me just say, that reminds me of a couple things. I want to talk about the Swan City Stitchers, and also I want to talk about a giveaway. I've got a couple giveaways to mention and talk about and show the prizes for them. But the very first one that I want to talk about, by the way, if you see Sydney Edgar on there, that's my sweetheart. Yeah, I think some of y'all already know that. And anyway, so the first giveaway I want to mention, because I want you to subscribe, right, to the YouTube channel, and obviously leave comments. Most of you I can see already are. So I have a giveaway opportunity for you. If you have not already, then do subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment. The more comments that you give between today and next Friday, when I do another video, then those are opportunities for chances for you to win a giveaway. And I have it on my list here. I will show the giveaway prizes later. This is a pretty good one, I have to say. Wink, wink. I think it's a good one. So that is your opportunity. Now, this is a live video, so you can either comment tomorrow, as soon as the video is available for us to download and post on the YouTube homepage, then we'll do that. And so you can comment on either video. It won't matter. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then don't worry about it, because it doesn't matter. But yeah, so that's the first giveaway, because yes, I do want you to subscribe and I really appreciate it, and give it a thumbs up. You do have to have a YouTube account. Somebody mentioned that this week. Yes, you have to have a YouTube account and you have to be signed in. It's not a big deal. Fortunately, you just give them your email address. And honestly, if you don't sign up for notifications, you don't even get emails. So you want to sign up, hit the bell so that you get notifications in your inbox, your email inbox, to know when, there's new videos that for people that you've subscribed to. So, all right. So I mentioned that. And the other thing is then the Swan City Stitchers. Yes, if you don't know, I did start a Facebook group for Swan City Stitchers, and the goal is really I want to have monthly fiber challenges and other things, obviously, because y'all are so supportive and amazing of each other. But in there, I want to do a monthly fiber challenge that will focus on a theme, and we'll see, it might evolve to different things over the months. But, like next month, December, obviously it's going to be something Christmas related. But I'll try to keep them pretty broad because I want you to be able to do any fiber craft towards that. This month, November, the goal, the fiber challenge is to craft, whether you knit, crochet. Let's see, you could probably felt. You can make an ornament, a sweater ornament of some fashion, as long as it's with fiber, it qualifies. So that's as broad as I could make it this month. Otherwise, this month is a little bit more specific, being a sweater. So, but yeah, so there is a giveaway for that as well. And I will show you that prize today also. I need to take a picture and post it in the group so that you know what you're working for there. So that's the Swan City Stitchers. Let me check my list. What else? Okay. So Nani Swimo, for y'all that are casting on, see, with me having to do all of the talking, I don't get to read the comments as much. Oh, Karen, yes, trunk show. We're going to talk about that trunk show coming up. I love it. Yep. Don't forget to like. I appreciate that. Yes, the fluffy base. We're going to talk about bases here in a minute. Let me just really quick finish. I want to show you, y'all have probably, if you've followed along at all on social media, you've seen my many posts. I did my gauge swatch, and y'all, I actually got gauge perfectly on my stitch count. The stitch count calls for a size 7, or the gauge that you're going for using a size 7 needle. You're supposed to get 15 stitches in 4 inches, and I forget how many rows. Maybe 26. Anyway, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Once I blocked it, pinned it up, and let it dry. I pinned it up on my blocking mat just like this, and then set it upright so that gravity would take it down just like it would in my sweater if I hang it up. And the next day after it had dried, I actually had 15 stitches in 4 inches. I don't know that I've ever exactly gotten my stitch gauge to match, but I did this time. So I was very happy. My row gauge was off by I think 1, but having done the math, because there are some people who tell you that row gauge does matter, and they'll give you a formula. I've talked about it before on my Cumulus blouse about adjusting for row gauge, because I was kind of off on that particular swatch, which was by the same designer. And when I did the math, it worked out that it wasn't enough off that I needed to worry about it. So I'm pretty sure that being just 1 off on my row gauge is okay based on the way that math works. So I was very excited. This is Purple Leaf Plum, which I plan on bringing to the shop at some point before too very long. I want to make it part of my upcoming winter collection. So we'll talk more about that in the upcoming weeks. But what did I do with it? So today I made myself wait, but I did just the cast on row. Now, I will say this, if you're doing the Wednesday sweater, and I don't remember seeing this in her other patterns, Petite Knit. What did I just do with the pattern? I just had it. Oh, I stuck it over here. So I don't recall seeing this in her other patterns, but I do recall seeing it in other European designers' patterns, where when they start talking about short rows, because she has you doing short rows the minute that you're done with your cast on row. Literally, the next row you start is dealing with short rows. And the only thing that I had an issue with, and some of you might, is that she doesn't, even though she says that short rows are coming up, when she tells you to turn, when you're doing short rows, you turn, and then you either wrap and turn or you make a double stitch. She doesn't tell you what you're doing. She just says that you knit until there are da 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 da. So you have to basically insert make double stitch. And I know that because I went and watched the video. So I annotated, I think that's the right word, on my pattern there at the beginning of those rows. After I turn, I have to make a double stitch. And I verified that, like I said, by watching her tutorial video, and she makes a double stitch. And I find that interesting. I'm not sure what it is. Do European designers expect us to be more advanced than we are? No, I need to be told when to make a double stitch and how to do it and everything else. So anyway, but I think I'm good to go, at least on this part. So I'll just post some progress pics, and I hope that you all will continue to post your progress pics on whatever sweaters that you are crafting as well. Okay, so let's see. Y'all are talking about the bases. Okay, well, you know what? Let's talk about the bases, shall we? Okay, there are, and I did a post about this. I couldn't keep my base names. I have new base names, but I tried to go. I'm actually glad about that. I wanted there to be a system so that it's easy to recognize, like what is this base name referring to. So I tried to keep them very consistent. So each base will have obviously the weight. So if it's sock fingering, then it's something sock. If it's DK weight, then it's something DK. And then, of course, with all of those, there's an adjective. And the adjectives should be consistent across the weight. So, for example, if you see the word trusty, trusty sock, trusty DK, that means that that's a merino nylon blend. And I called it trusty because it's a trustworthy. I've talked about this base being a workhorse yarn. It's good for, there's like nothing you can't knit or crochet with it. Like it's great for socks. It's great for sweaters, shawls, hats, mittens, whatever. It just works for pretty much any project. I can't think of a project it doesn't work for at this point, or, an item that you couldn't make with it. So, and it's just trusty. Like I was thinking the other day, if I had to pick a base, like I could only knit with one base for the rest of my life, and I had to pick, it would probably be the trusty blend merino nylon, just because it's the most versatile. Now, I would be very upset about this because the fluffy bases, oh, hello, like that's, they're just not quite as versatile. So they're luxury. They're awesome. I don't know if I could live without them, but they're not as versatile. So if you see trusty sock, trusty sport, trusty DK, then that means it's merino nylon. Also, by the way, I wanted to mention this before I forget. Some of the bases in the shop, they're not as fully developed in terms of colorways. That's purely just because of an inventory standpoint. I have to wait for more to come in, but I hope to, especially with like trusty DK. That was really sad that I didn't have more of those to offer, but I'll get more of those in the upcoming weeks, and then I'll be adding colorways to those. So if you have one that you love and I haven't added to it much, then that's why. I'm just waiting for more to come in. Okay. Then so that's trusty. If you see silky, I only have silky sock, and that's because it's a tried and true favorite that y'all love, merino silk cashmere. And I'm keeping that because y'all love it. It's a favorite, and it's just great. It's super silky, soft. Drape is incredible. So yeah, we're keeping that. So silky sock. Then swanky, if you see swanky, that means merino cashmere nylon. All right. So we have swanky sock. I decided to go with the 150-gram hank. So you get 600 yards. Honestly, I think that skein, I did the math at one point a couple months ago, and I was like, wow, this is like, you get the most bang for your buck with this, the most yardage. It's just a great base. It has high twist, so really good stitch definition, takes dye color very well. So had to keep that one, of course. And then we have Swanky DK, which is, of course, the MCN DK, that squishy. I mean, what's not to love? And I think at one point, I'll just toot my own horn here. At one point, I did a search for other indie dyers, and I didn't see a lot of other MCN DK bases out there. I could be wrong. That's not your challenge to go find it elsewhere. But I decided we need to keep that one because I honestly, I just didn't see it in a lot of other places. So we have to have Swanky DK. And then of course, there is, if you see squishy, the only squishy I have is squishy worsted, and that's 100% superwash merino. So if you see that, and everything that I've mentioned merino, that's superwash at this point. I will have a non-superwash merino just for a special project that's coming up in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that later. But for the most part, everything that I talked about, they're superwash merino. Now let's get to one of my favorite bases of all time, or favorite blends, I guess I should say, and that is Fluffy. So y'all know Fluffy lace weight. That's the Surrey alpaca, 65% alpaca and 35% silk, right? This is it on Swan Song. Like, it's amazing. We all know it. We all love it. I mean, come on. So obviously we have that. So Fluffy, by the way, if you see Fluffy, that means it's an alpaca base. The percentages are a little bit different depending on the weight of yarn, but there's alpaca in there. Now, there's also Fluffy sock. Okay, y'all are accustomed to, I have always dyed up this, it's a fingering weight yarn with, it looks a little washed out. It has a natural gray base. That's what y'all are accustomed to seeing, right? I want to say it's 70% gray alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere, right? It's what you've always seen. And this is like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't going to get rid of this. The only thing is I found we can get it on a cream base, which this has always been great for jewel tones, blues, greens. Like, it looks wonderful on this, but it's difficult to do some pastels and some warm colors. It kind of just contradicts with this base. And so I decided for versatility to go with the cream base. So same percentages, you get 70% baby alpaca, and then 20% silk and 10% cashmere. So same lusciousness. The only difference is that it's a cream base, and it just gives me more versatility with dyeing. I can dye up more colorways on this. We can do some neutrals, some of those softer pinks and things. Yeah, this is, well, Jana says, oh, yay. Maybe not to the pink. I got you, Jana. I got you. But we can do a pastel light green or something like that for you on here. So it just has more versatility. So that is what Fluffy sock is. It has a cream base rather than the gray. I do have a few skeins of the gray alpaca base left that I'll be dyeing up, and we'll do something special with them. If I create listings, I'll make sure that you know it has the gray alpaca base, although it's, again, they're basically the same squishy, exact same yarn, just a different color base. All right, so that's Fluffy sock. And then a brand new base I had to have, and I cannot wait to work with myself, and that is this one, Fluffy DK. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have to work on my lighting in this space, I think. But look, ladies, look at this. Now, it looks a lot like the lace weight, but this is DK weight. And let me remind myself, because the percentages are, I want to say just, yeah, it's a little bit different. It is 90% baby Surrey alpaca, 10% silk. It is so soft. Like, I just want to snuggle with it, honestly. I know we talk about that, but literally, it is amazing. So let me tell you the story about this. We had a customer do a special order, I don't know, months ago. And I remember at the time thinking, oh, I'm going to keep that in mind because I'm going to do something with that at some point. Well, it just the other week, literally, I saw where someone had knit a sweater, and which I find interesting because we always say if it has too much alpaca, it probably has too much drape. You don't want to knit a garment out of it. That's what I've always been told. That's what I've always believed, but I'm not kidding you. I saw on social media, someone had hand knit a sweater with just this. And I was like, drooling. And I was like, that does it. We're getting it. So we will have Fluffy DK. Now, like the Fluffy lace, it's a little bit unique because it has such a giant halo on it. I mean, my goodness. So you tend to it's apparently, I can see that, just like lace weight, often you can, because this has such a large halo, a large amount of halo to it, you can knit with a larger needle size. So you don't always, you know what I'm saying? Like you can shift it out for fingering weight gauge patterns rather than lace weight gauge, like the needle size, you would go up. Instead of using lace weight needles, you would use a higher needle just because you can get away with that. And my understanding is that this is similar. So we'll be talking about this in the upcoming weeks, about how to substitute this for other yarns, like what you would need to do. So, and we'll look at some patterns and projects and stuff like that, because I'm telling you, this, oh, I'm so excited about this. So anyway, that is a new base. Okay, so there's that. What else? Was there anything else I needed to tell you about bases? Colorways, and I had posted this in the Yarny Use, that colorways should look pretty much the same. I do have my dye recipes and all of that. So if you need a special order, I can do special orders. Just reach out and let me know. And yes, so Sharon, I hate that the fluffy DK is already sold out. I'll get more. I'm just waiting on, this is literally the last undyed skein that I have. I didn't have a lot of it, and I'm just waiting on more. So I will get more and we'll dye it up. And like I said, we're going to be talking about this. We might have some, make-alongs or something, yeah, because I'm just so excited about this. So Jana had a question. Okay, Pam says she knit a ranunculus in something quite, yes. And you know what? The ranunculus would be a great pattern because it has such versatility in terms of the weights of yarn. So you can, oh yeah, I can totally see that. A ranunculus would look awesome in this for sure. And let's see. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to find Jana there. Okay, what is the difference between alpaca and Surrey alpaca? So Surrey alpaca, there's two different types of alpaca, Wakaya and Surrey. So, and I'll be honest, I'm guessing that if they don't say Surrey alpaca, it probably comes from Wakaya, but I don't know that, to be honest. I know that in terms of the differences, the Surrey, their locks are like longer, thinner, more silkier than the Wakaya. But I mean, alpaca is alpaca. I mean, come on. It's like, trying to, I don't have a good, it's like you've got two amazing things to say one is better than the other. Really? How much better? Because it's already so awesome. So, but anyway, so so there is a difference between Surrey and Wakaya. I don't know why they point out if it's Surrey alpaca and not point out if it's Wakaya. I'm not sure why that is. I do know that Wakaya is much more prevalent, and maybe that's why. Maybe because Surrey alpaca, you just don't see as much of it. And so when you do have it in the fiber blend, they really want to point it out. I should probably do some research, or I can just act like I know exactly what I'm talking about, and that's how it is. No, I'll try to do some research on that. That's a very good question. Okay. Someone asked, is there a minimum skein for special orders? So it'll pretty much be the same as it's always been. 3 skeins is typically the minimum. If you are doing a sweater kit, then obviously I'll work with you. I've done that where you might have one color, one skein in a certain color, and then, multiple skeins in another because you're doing color work or something like that. So I do make exceptions, but it has to be, for something like that. If you're doing a sweater that calls for a variety of colorways. So you can ask Siri. There you go. Siri, what can you tell me about Surrey? I like it. Okay. Now I did not cover one base because I just hadn't gotten to it yet, and because I don't have any of it undyed. So this is a limited base for right now, unfortunately, because I had ordered some of it, and then when I wanted to go back and order more, they had already sold out, and my supplier's not going to get any until at least December. Darn it. I'm not happy about that. However, y'all have been commenting about it, and that is the new sparkly sock. So let me tell you that there's a story behind this too. Can you see the sparkle on that? You listen. Okay, like 7 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, the very first fiber festival that I ever vended at, there was an indie dyer and she had this stellina, silver stellina yarn, and it looked like, well, like this. It looked like there was snow sitting on top of the yarn. It was just so everywhere. And I was like, oh, I was like, I have to have some of that. I bought a skein. Sure enough, it had 10%. Normally you can find 5% silver stellina. This had 10%. And I was like, oh. And so over the years, I kept thinking, I need to find a yarn that has 10% stellina. Well, earlier this year, I found it. And yeah, we have it. We have it for us. It is it's a sock yarn. So it has 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and then 10% of the silver stellina. And so here I've got some of these I call them bundles because I realized, it occurred to me, sometimes I think people think that if you call them sock sets that they have to be used for socks. They don't. They just come, you get some extra minis with them. But you can totally use these as, make yourself a cowl or a hat. You don't have to use the minis and you don't have to make socks. You can use the minis for other things. But I did want to give you some options if you're going to make socks. So I'll just go ahead and show you some of the colorways on this sparkly sock. And this one is pumpkin everything. And that's the only one that's not Christmassy. It was an ode to Thanksgiving, and I'll do some more fall colorways coming out. They won't be able to be on the sparkly base because I've dyed all those up and I ain't got any more until December. But in the meantime, I have these. So this is, like I said, pumpkin everything. I think that was a Dye Live colorway. And then we have pumpkin puree and double Dutch come with it. That I'm like, I need to do something with that. And then of course, this one is Christmas Tree Farm. That has some dark greens, some browns, even there's a tiny bit of black in there just to kind of make it darker. And then it also comes with, no, you know what? That wasn't double Dutch. Sorry, y'all. I told y'all wrong. That's Fall Feels. My lighting, I have a little bit of a glare here, so I couldn't quite see it, but that's Fall Feels and pumpkin puree. This one has double Dutch and the cherry on top. Look at that. Hello. All right, so there's that one. And then we also have, here's another good one. Oh, y'all, can y'all see the stellina on that? It is like just popping off of there, flying off the colorway. That is spindle prick red. You get bottle green and bells will be ringing with that particular bundle. Love that. And one of my favorites, Gingerbread Man. Love that. Like a gingerbread cookie that's been all decorated for Christmas. And that comes with buttons and spindle prick red. I actually brought my socks. I knit socks out of these. Not last year. It must have been the year before that. And I just made them, you know how I like my socks? Willy-nilly. Not really matching. So those are some of my favorite Christmas socks. That's Gingerbread Man. Love it. And so I had to put that in the shop for y'all. And then what else do we have? There's one more. I do have another one that is not in the shop, Bell Schnickel. And I just didn't quite get the minis dyed up for that. So I'll get that in the shop for next week. And this one is Christmas at the Cabin. That's been a popular one. And of course you get pip berries and berry with that combo. So those are the sparkly bundles that are in there and the sparkly sock base. I hope to have this as a regular in the shop. I don't know. My supplier does seem to be a little fickle on how often they get it. So I don't know. I guess I'll just have to really stock up because I don't know about you all, but I love it. For me, it doesn't have to be Christmas a project. It doesn't have to be a Christmas item to be knitting, to have bling. Like I could see knitting something for Valentine's Day or, whatever, and having that stellina in there. And then maybe even putting in some beads or something like that for extra bling. Okay. Yes. Loving all the sparkles. I'm glad. And yes, Kim, thank you for asking about the sock pattern. The sock pattern is done. It has been tech edited. It is ready to be test knit. A couple of you have reached out about test knitting, and yes, and I have responded. I will get back with you, and I may put out a call for more test knitters as well. I just, because this past week has been so crazy with setting up the online shop and there's just been so much going on that I had to kind of set that on the back burner, but it's ready to go. So I'm moving forward. It's on my list, I promise. So thank you for asking about that. I'm super excited about it. We'll talk more about that next week, actually. Okay, so what else? Oh, we have to talk about Swan Song. So, and before I forget, I didn't mention before we end today, I do want to, don't let me forget. If I say, did I forget anything? I want to talk about some upcoming trunk shows and events. And then I also have an apology that I want to offer to a specific group of people. So just don't let me forget that. Okay. All right. So Swan Song. Oh, I mentioned it. Okay. Well, I didn't mention it. I showed it. I showed it on our fluffy lace weight base. This is, and I mean, look at that. Look at how that just really melds together. Those speckles they really get smushed and spread out. I love it so much on those alpaca bases. So, but I also have it, I've dyed it up on quite a few other bases. I'll be knitting up some samples in this colorway since it's our signature colorway. I'm just saying it is a pink and purple speckled colorway, definitely variegated. And I noticed that, so I dyed some up, berry and cat's meow. It just goes so perfectly with both of those. So here it is. Oh, and here's my new cuffs. Did I show them? So with the logo. So so I just thought these are like a match made in heaven. I can see a 3-color shawl, might be knitting up a sample of that or having a sample on it up in that. And so you'll be seeing that around and with some project suggestions and all of that. And I tried, so Swan Song was pretty much on all of the bases except Sparkly Sock. And then also Berry and Cat's Meow were on most of the bases. But again, where it wasn't, it's because I'm waiting on inventory to come in and I'll get those dyed up and put in the shop. So along with, like I said, a few Christmas colorways that I still have to get out. And so what else do we have coming up? So we'll be doing some soap sack kits in the upcoming weeks. That's something that makes a great Christmas present, either to knit them up and give them to someone because they smell so awesome, or you can simply gift the kit to another knitter if you want to, because they'll come with the yarn, the soap, and the pattern. And or you can even just get it and knit it up for yourself because it's awesome. All right, so that's coming up. Oh, I have to tell y'all, so earlier, for a while, I've been wanting to dye self-striping yarn. Not because I want to dye self-striping yarn. Because it's a whole different dye process, really. You kind of have to have a special setup for it. If not, it's even more time consuming. So special kudos to anybody who is a self-striping yarn dyer. But I did dye some up in a Grinchmas colorway. I just didn't have a chance. They have to be reskeined because I would love to list them and then just ship them out to y'all in these big long hanks and tell you, have fun winding that up into a cake. But that is not the right thing to do. No. So I have to reskein them. I'll get them reskeined. There's not a lot of them, to be honest. And I don't know. My schedule's looking pretty busy, so I don't know that it's going to happen a lot. Maybe we'll do them on special occasions if y'all really like them. But we'll see. Okay, so clubs. Okay, well, hey, Linda, glad you're here. Better late than never, I always say. And oh, nice. You have your okay. I like it. I'm a sweater in Swan Song. Mwah. That's going to be awesome. Helen's here from She Sells Yarn. Got good news about She Sells Yarn coming up as well. And so let's see, you had an appointment. I hope everything went well with your appointment. And Julie says, love making socks. Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, I'm glad y'all like self-striping. I hope I can get what you want done on it. Okay. So thank you for joining, Samantha. And okay, that's right. Linda is going to do the Corey in poncho instead of a sweater, which I said that was totally fine. I will allow it. Okay. So let's talk about, let's do some upcoming events. Shall we talk about that? Let's do it. Okay. So first of all, just to let you know, I will be at Knitcessities next Saturday, 1 week from today. So if you're local, I will have Christmas colorways. I'll have Swan song and all of that ready to go. So I hope you'll join me. I'll probably have, I'm hoping to have some fun little grab bags as well. And then there will be a chance for you to participate in a day after giveaway there too, which I'm going to show you those prizes here in just a second. And then let's see. So that's this month. Next month, November 23rd, I will be at She Sells Yarn. We're going to do a trunk show there. And then Helen and I have also discussed in December having I'm trying to remember the date. I have to, I wrote down the date and she and I will firm that up. But we're going to do a holiday sock blank dyeing experience. So you can come in and dye up a holiday sock blank. I'll have some other colors too, if you're just not in the mood to dye a holiday sock blank. But yeah, so we're going to have some good times coming up. Let me just tell you. So lots of fun things coming up. There's also, y'all know, Distaff Day. We'll be doing a trunk show at Knit and Stitch Boutique coming up. And I just spoke to Dottie this morning, and I'm sorry, I forgot the date of that. But I will get that posted, a graphic made, so that you'll know when that is as well. And then I don't know if y'all saw on the website, but in March I will also be at Nash Yarn Fest. I'm so excited. If y'all know me at all, you know that I love Nashville. Bo and I have made it a yearly thing to go visit his daughter in Nashville every year at Thanksgiving. And I just want to tell you, if you're thinking about going to Nash Yarn Fest, I say do it. And if you at all have extra time, take extra time and be there for like a week, because Nashville, I know it's a city. Yes, it has traffic. I hate traffic. But Nashville and its surrounding neighborhoods, it is, here's the thing, what I have found, it doesn't matter what you like to do, what your hobbies are, you can find it somewhere around Nashville, and in the greatest way. Like coffee shops, we love coffee shops. Guess what? Nashville has some of the best coffee shops ever. All over the place. There are multiples of them. We like books and records. Guess what? Used bookstores, vintage stores all over the place. Obviously music. I mean, they have all the regular touristy Music Row and all of that. But I'm saying even outside of that, like if you like shopping, we love shopping. Awesome shopping. Whatever it is that you like to do a search for it around Nashville, antiquing, all of that stuff. Like, it's just amazing. It's so fun. So if you're thinking about going, I say definitely do it and spend some extra time there. So, and if so, then we'll see you there for sure. Oh, you will be Sharon. Oh my goodness. I love it. See, Sharon went to Lakeland High School, which I think I knew that before, Sharon. I think you had told us that. But anyway, I've never met you in person, have I, Sharon? See, I message you on Facebook and all that stuff. So I just think, oh yeah, I know Sharon, but I've never actually met you face to face. That is awesome. Oh yes. Yes. Thank you, Bo. Mexican food. I'm pretty sure it's like this with all foods, but I'm telling you what, and Lakeland has great Mexican restaurants too, but I think our favorite ever Mexican restaurant anywhere is in Nashville. Message me if you want the name of it and I'll tell you. I'm not just going to announce it because not everybody can go there. I'm just kidding. I think it's called if I can say it right, Holociencia, or it's like an intricate name. But anyway, they just have amazing dishes. Like, yeah. See, yeah. So whatever kind of food you like, they have comedy clubs, like everything. It's awesome. So, yeah, I think we'll just all move to Nashville. All of us, all the yarn shops, everybody, we'll just all transplant to Nashville. Shall we? Okay. I'm just kidding. Anyway, what else did I forget? There's probably some other stuff that I forgot. Okay, so let me show you the giveaways. Okay, I'm going to show you the giveaways. The first one we'll do, since it was the first one mentioned, is the Nani Swimo giveaway. So if you are participating in that at all, and the rules are in there, basically just you're crafting a sweater of any ilk and whatever yarn or fiber that you want to use is totally fine. And yeah, and so the winner of that, at the end of the month, I will pick a random winner from the group, and you will get this 3-piece sweat. That's not sweat. Let's hope not. This 3-piece set on Swanky DK, which includes cinnamon spice, nutmeg, and mocha. Actually, I think it's supposed to go this way. There, nope, I did that wrong. This way. There we go. From dark to light. We have mocha, cinnamon spices in the middle, and then nutmeg on the end. So you get that 3-piece set, whoever wins that. And then the giveaway for the day after for Knitcessities, you have to show up to find out how you can enter to win. No purchase will be necessary. And that will be this combo. This is an MCN base that I called it Swanky Little Sister sock because it's the 400-yard version of our Swanky sock. And so it's got that high twist MCN. It's called Pumpkin Pie and then Pie Crumbs on a mini. So that's the giveaway for that. And then lastly, the giveaway for YouTube. So if you've subscribed and commented, then you are entered to win this 2 skeins of Army on, this is basically the fluffy sock, but it is the gray base. Okay. So you'll have that luscious alpaca silver base. It's in the natural colorway, of course, of the yarn undyed, but it's not the cream base. Anyway, only because I have a feeling when I dye Army up on the cream base of fluffy sock, I'm guessing it'll look a little bit different. But anyway, so these 2 skeins that you get will be on the gray base. So yeah, so those are the giveaways. Okay, so quick thing. And this reminded me of the club. So somebody mentioned clubs. Jana, yeah, I thought of you when I saw that, the Army, because I know you love your green. Yes. Oh, Bo posted, yes, the name of the Mexican restaurant. Y'all need to go if you're in Nashville. I'm telling you. Oh, yeah, my mouth is watering. Okay, so let me say this. So, okay, for those of you that were in Dye Live Plus Club, I just wanted to offer you an apology. I know that money was refunded, so no one was taken advantage of monetarily, but I really felt bad because y'all had signed up for a 3-month experience and then were just cut off. And that was not my intent. I really apologize. If I had known that was going to happen, I wouldn't have offered it so that you wouldn't have been cut off. So my apologies for that. Again, as a customer, I probably would have been a little bit like, what's going on? So I just wanted to offer you a special apology. Again, not my intent to do that. So, but speaking of clubs, yeah, I'm not opposed to clubs. I'll tell you what, if there's a club that is near and dear to your heart or something that you would like to see, message me. Because I'm just, I'm having to get into the swing of things. I'm not a 2-person show. I'm a 1-person. Well, actually we're a 4-person show here. But as far as, running the business and making decisions, it's up to me at this point. So that if there's something that you really like or you would like to see in clubs, then let me know and we'll see what we can do. I'm not making any promises because I don't want to overextend myself either. One of the things I didn't get to mention is that what I would like to do as a plan is kind of have, rather than every single week coming out with a new colorway, this is this week's colorway. I'd like to do more, collections. This is a collection, like I have plans for a winter collection of a group of colorways that all work well together that you can pick and choose from. And then also within that have some sample projects so that you can see what it looks like knit up. I just think it'll be less pressure that way to know, what is this week's hot colorway? I don't know. So, but we'll do fun. I know y'all love mystery colorways and pre-orders, so I'll still do those. Don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. Honestly, I think the best ways to reach me are probably Facebook Messenger and email, the contact page on the website, or Carolyn at Swan City Yarns. It all comes to the same place. Instagram, I'm not, I post there obviously, but the messages sometimes just get lost more. For some reason, I don't gravitate to those DMs as much. So I would suggest that you reach out in other ways, but don't hesitate if you have a question or comment or something like that. And please don't take it personally if I don't take your suggestion. Sometimes it's just going to be a matter of timing and what's on the schedule and all of that. Let's see. How about shop exclusive colorways? Yes, Helen, you and I will definitely talk about that. And I like that. That's actually a great idea. Okay. Let's see. Yes, love good. I'm glad. I like that too. I think that will work better and give me a chance to really develop those ideas and projects. And yeah, it's just not as much rush and pressure, and I think it'll just be good all the way around. So I'm excited about that. Okay, what else? Time change this weekend. Don't forget, we finally come off daylight savings time if you are on daylight savings time. So that comes back. I think that's all I have. Did I say I was going to talk about anything else and then didn't? I showed you the colorways. We talked about the bases. I showed you the giveaways. If you are knitting the Wednesday sweater and you have issues, feel free to message me and we'll see what we can do. You might be ahead of me in knitting it though. My days are even busier than before, so I'm knitting in the evenings, and I'm hoping that my time, kind of frees up a little bit in certain areas, and that I can do more knitting and fiber crafting like I want to. All right. So just to let you know, next week when I am at Knitcessities, I will be there all day from 11 to 5. And then November 23rd at She Sells Yarn, I will be there from 10 to 3 all day when she's open. And yeah, I think that's it, everybody. Let's see. Okay, I did good. I got the A-OK from Lonnie. Advent boxes. Okay, very good. I'm glad to know that too. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Again, my heart is so warm with your generous well wishes and kindness. How you have, as you go through life, you participate in different groups. You have obviously your family group. Hopefully you have a strong family group. If you're faith-based, you probably have a church group that you belong to. If you're a parent, you have your school groups or mom groups, play date groups, all of that. If you're into books, you might have book clubs. You have your friend groups. You have all these different groups that you participate. And I have to say that it has really been impressed upon me that probably the group that I have belonged to that has been the absolutely most caring and most concerned and well-wishing across the board, regardless of race, regardless of faith, regardless of any other identity, has been the fiber crafting group. And so I'm just always amazed by that. And I'm so thankful. So there have been some groups that I guess I haven't always felt as close to, even though I would see people in person. And I remember Bo saying, "Oh, maybe they're just not your type of people." But in terms of fiber people, like, that hasn't been the case at all. So I won't go on about it except to say thank you. It means a lot to me. So yeah, so I will see you. I plan to do videos every week, Fridays at 1. I'll do them live unless I have like a trunk show, or not a trunk show, those are on Saturdays, but like if I'm going to a fiber festival or traveling or something like that, if that's the case, then I'll do a pre-recorded video and I'll let you know ahead of time. But otherwise, we'll plan on doing it live. So I'll see you here next Friday at 1. And let me just tell you, if no one has told you this week, you are amazing and I appreciate you. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.